Hi, on that last video I was talking about it, if it went below here it would be a sell signal, and if it went above here it would be like a buy signal on our system. But that was just saying if we were out of the market. Now if you go farther back on this system, we would have went long in here, and because of our system, the histogram, parabolic, because of the trend system and 10-10 bands, and we would have really never got out of this trade yet because it's never put in a sell signal yet. So there's really no reason why we couldn't have gone long there and still be in it. And again, this is where the system gets a little tough sometimes, because when it makes this move down like this, you're just gonna say to yourself, um, sometimes, boy, this thing's going lower. I don't know if I can hang in there, And then naturally, what happens? It turns right around. So that's why you got to follow the rules, because we really never got a sell signal here at all, even though it looked like the market may have made a top and may be ready to crash. So that's why that's another good thing about this system. It will keep you out of trouble, as far as, because you'll see things in the market and you'll start imagining, okay, it's going to crash. And mentally, I mean, it's hard for me, it's hard for everybody. That's one of the biggest hard parts of trading, is the mental side of it. And that's why I came up with these rules, because then you don't have to think about it. You just can just say, okay, I'm waiting until the close of the day, and then I'm going to see what it looks like. And then you don't have to follow the market. You don't have to do anything. You just have to just follow the system, basically. But anyway, this little area here we're just talking about would be if we would be out of the market. So sometimes if I do commentary and you look back and you say, yeah, but Jim, we would have went long back there, and you're talking about selling and buying. I'm just talking about just if we were out in the market. I'm just kind of showing you um, different areas to try to explain the trend system to you better. So sometimes it might not follow exactly with, if we would go back on the chart, exactly with what the market we would have done in the past. Okay, now here again, I'm just talking about recent action here on this system. Like, I'm not going to go back and look at where we would have been here, but on the dollar here you can see clearly that, again, we look at M-type tops. That's one of the big things we look at, double tops. So we got a double top here on the dollar right now, and then you can clearly see that another bar down, another sharp bar down will close below the 10-10 bands. And then the parabolics right there, it'll be putting in a sell signal. And you can see the histogram, Magnum histogram, MACD histogram, will be going on a sell signal too. So the dollar, everything's lining up for a sell, and you can just see this playing out in real time. I mean, you can see it before it happens. Even if the dollar made another big day up here, it wouldn't really change anything. It would just still be a double top, and the parabolic would be moving closer, and then eventually when it did break below the 10-10 bands. And then if none of this happens, if the dollar doesn't trade lower from here, and if the parabolic doesn't go on a sell signal and the MAC doesn't go on a sell signal, then the dollar is still in an uptrend. So I really think if you follow these rules and follow this trend system and get the feel of it, that's a big thing. Get the feel of it. This will really be a good system. And the other thing is sometimes it's going to be wrong. Okay, like say here on cocoa, I really think cocoa's in an uptrend here. Well, it is in an uptrend, but I guess what I'm saying is that doesn't mean it can't break lower here. And right now, we actually could have a sell signal on this. Now this is where your judgment comes in. This is one that you could go either way on, because of personal opinion, because right now I am kind of bullish on cocoa. But I found out, don't let your opinion get involved with it too. So what I would do on this is I would take this sell signal here, and then if it did turn around and go long, I would take a buy signal. So I would just let the market tell me what to do instead of interjecting my opinion in it. But I'm saying if you are super bullish on cocoa, and there's nothing wrong with skipping a trade either, because it's nothing lost. But I'm saying most of the time what you want to do is, if you're a cocoa trader and you get a cocoa trade, you want to take that trade, even if you don't agree with it, because that's what following a system. That's part of following a system, is to follow it, no matter, even if you agree with it or not. And you'll find usually if you just let the market dictate what you do, that you'll come out ahead. because basically we'd put our sell stop under here, and then we just let the market call if it's going to go short or not. If we got filled on that trade, then we would just follow the rules and put a stop up here, and then we would just follow it down and see what happened. And then if this thing turned around and put in a buy signal with the trend system, then we would go long. Sometimes you got to stop and reverse. That's another big thing about system trading. You need to be able to stop and reverse, because you're going to find that some of your best, biggest trades come after you just had a losing trade. And that's one thing that's hard to do, is to stop and reverse in these markets. But once you follow this, that's another good thing about having a system. You'll get more confident to do that, because you'll know that what you're doing works if you follow it long enough. And then that's the problem most people have with stopping and reversing. If they're just trying to go off their own guesswork or technical analysis on the market, and they really don't have a plan, naturally it's going to be hard to stop and reverse. But if you have a system that you know works, it's not going to be that hard to stop and reverse on a trade. And some of my biggest winners this year in the Premium Commodity Newsletter have come on reverses after a loss. Lean hogs went up, and we had a buy signal on it, and then we got stopped out, and we went short right away, and that turned out to be like a $3,000 winner. So I'm saying you just got to follow the rules, follow the system, and take the trades. Now, one thing I would say is sometimes these markets will just go sideways forever. So if you get in that situation, like if you have 2 or 3 losses in a row, then you might want to just get out of that market and just wait until you get a really clear setup that you're really totally confident in from the technical picture. Because sometimes there's going to be some trades that are going to be better than others from the technical standpoint. Like if you have a clear double bottom here, and then you get a buy signal, I mean, that's just kind of an obvious trade to take. Now, the way cocoa is kind of right here, it is kind of choppy, it is kind of sideways. This you might even call just a sideways market, and it might just be a good market to stay out of. But again, that's something you'll have to decide. But right now on our system, cocoa is putting in a sell. If we have a big couple updates here, then we'll go back on a buy. But right now, cocoa is a sell, and that's the way I'd go with it. Let's see what other market we got here that we could look at. Let's look at lean hogs. We were talking about lean hogs. Yeah, and that's the trade we just took in the Premium Newsletter too, and we did get stopped out today. So we'll kind of look at what happened on that. What happened on that is we had this big gap down, and then I figured lean hogs was going to keep going lower. But usually when you have a sharp move here, well, not usually, but a lot of the times, you have a big sharp move, and then you'll have a counter trend rally. And I didn't want to like go short here and then get all of a sudden have a profit and then get in the situation where we were at a loss. And I thought it was still good at a good trade, but I didn't want to. You just don't want to. It's better to take a profit, I guess. I mean, we got out with a $320 profit. We got out at the open today, and it went our way again today if we would have stayed in the trade. But that, again, that's where it gets down to mental and how you want to trade it. But if you were following the exact rules of the system, you would have just stuck short with this. And then I think that's going to play out, because right now it's 3 bars below the bands and everything's looking like it's going to head lower. Technically on this chart, what it kind of looks like it would obviously do is it looks like it would probably come down here and test this low. Probably this is just like a counter trend rally here, and then I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down here and tests this low and then moves higher. But again, right now with the weather situation and everything, I don't know how that's affecting this market, but this market could really collapse from here. And that would be another thing with this system you can do is, okay, we got a profit on this. Now we'll just see how it plays off this low. And let's say if we have a little rally up here and it hits 10-10 band support or something, we can go short again and use our, and it'd still be kind of like using our system, even though it might not be the exact entry point, like the first entry point. It's still using our system. If everything in our system says that lean hogs is heading lower, and it pulls back here and like it's hitting the top 10-8 band, which is a resistance point on the bands, and we could just take a nibble on the short side again with this trade. So we'll see how that plays out. So there's a few things to look at on these trades. again, I'm going to start calling this 1010 band MACD histogram parabolic the trend system, and because I think that's a pretty good name for it, because that's what we're trying to do, catch the trend. Like a lot of times we're just going to catch a swing up and a swing down, so you could call it the swing system, I guess. But really what we're trying to do is catch the trend as much as possible. Because like on corn, here's a good example. We got in corn with this system, and we've had a major move up, and it's in a huge uptrend, so we got in this trend with our trend system. Actually, we went long corn on this bar, and then once it hit above these bands here, and it's just taken off, and you can see this is the night market tonight on Monday night. It's up another 13 cents, so this thing is just going to the moon. And we're long in the premium newsletter, and we're long strictly because of this system. And the beauty of this is okay, we got long because of this system, but some of the other things that I'm teaching would hopefully let you get in this trade anyway. So like well, right now I can't think of anything, but right off the top of my head. But one of the things would be the 3-bar break. So see here, we had a 3-bar break on this bar, and then we could have bought the 3-bar high, and we'd be right in it. And then I'd have to go back and look at some other numbers on how else we could get into this trade. But just basically the bars above the bands, we could just buy into that. And then there's a lot of ways that with some of the techniques we have that we could have gotten into this. But I guess why I'm kind of at a loss for words in saying the other ways I could get into these trades is because I pretty much just follow this system because it's so simple and it works. And I don't, a lot of the things I'm teaching you is because I want you to know the most about the market you can. The more things you know, the better. And some of you guys might want to use a lot of this other stuff that maybe I don't ever use, but I'm going to teach you as many things as I can, so it will you'll be able to decide what you want to use. So really what the system, where this trend system with the MACD, that pretty much covers everything you need to do, because if this market takes off like this, like a bullet, like corn did, we're going to be in it with our system. And there's a lot of different ways to get into it. Bollinger Bands, Keltner channels. We've talked about some of this other stuff. Those Keltner channels are really nice. I was looking at those today. When the market gets above those Keltner channels, just consider it a strong move. And when these markets start these strong moves like corn is here, this is the time to be in the market, because it's just like every day it goes up. It's just like, and then when you have some of these down days, the thing is then it'll go right back up. So you're not like a trading range where every day it's going up and down and up and down, and you're going, oh my God, is this market going to go my way ever? When they make these kind of moves above the Keltner channels and above the bands and these huge trend moves, you're not going to have to wait very long to see if you're right by getting in the market or not. Like, you can just buy, and you can basically wait 2 or 3 days, and if you're not ahead within 2 or 3 days, just get out. So that's one of the nice things about these. Like I say, when it gets above the 10-10 bands like this, and it's just obvious that this thing should be in a monster uptrend above the Keltner channels, you can just buy in here a mini contract of corn and just wait 2 or 3 days, and if it hasn't taken off your way like it did here, just get out. So the risk is pretty minimal. And the other thing is on this, as I mentioned, these 3-bar breaks and 3-bar highs and lows. Again, when it starts these strong uptrends, you can just put your stop 3 bars behind, so you're just risking 3 bars, and you could catch, basically a huge move up. So I hope some of that stuff is interesting to you, and I hope it helps you, and I really hope you're getting a lot out of this mentoring. If you have any questions ever, just email me and I'll try to cover it. And that's it for tonight. And I'm going to do a lesson here next, I think, on the 3-bar breaks that I've talked about a couple of times, and then you'll be getting that later tonight too, if I can get it done. So thanks for listening. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you're in the corn market. If not though, there's going to be pullbacks, and so there's still a lot of money to be made in these grains. So if you're not in yet, don't worry about it. We're going to be getting in on pullbacks, and this thing has got a lot of big moves up and down, and then eventually somewhere down the road it's going to put in a top, and there's going to be a huge move down. So When a market starts moving like this, just don't ever think you missed it, because you never. These markets are always moving, and just the fact that this is making such a strong trend, it lets us know that there's going to be a sharp pullback somewhere along the line. Then eventually, somewhere down the road, there's going to be a top, and then there's going to be a big crash lower. So we can make money on this long, short, pullbacks, anything. So just if you're not in corn, don't worry about it. You will be if you keep following along, because I'm going to be hinting it in the premium newsletter as much as I can. So thanks again. This is Jim. Bye.